Hi, everyone. Welcome to That Anthro podcast. My name is Gabriella Campbell, and I'm the host of this podcast. If you don't know me, I'm a third-year anthropology major at UC Santa Barbara, and this podcast is mostly going to be centered around the UCSB anthropology department. So, I am an avid podcast listener. I love putting them on when I go for a drive, if I go for a walk, or even if I'm just doing chores around the house. So I really wanted to create my own. And the only thing that I could think of was anthropology. There's so many subfields and areas of study within anthropology, and I really want to use this podcast as an outlet to explore them, to find out, what we can learn from forensics, what we can learn from edible insects, what we can learn from biology, and how that applies to the human life experience. The other thing that I love about podcasts is that you get to learn about the person that they're interviewing and not just what they're being interviewed about. Anthropology in nature is a science and a discipline of discussion. And I think too often we just see these authors' names at the end of an article and we don't ever really learn why they study what they study. Or if you do, it's just a little blurb in the news. So I think, especially on this podcast, we're really going to be highlighting, the wonderful work that people are doing and learning about the person behind the science, not just the science. Learning about why they research what they research or why they're passionate about what they're passionate about. I know for me, my biggest passion is human osteology. I just love looking at bones. And as weird as that sounds, it's one of my biggest passions in life. And the reason that I love it is because a skeleton can tell you so much about the life of a person. And up until recently, up until the field of bioarchaeology, so much was looked over. And now there's so much more we can learn from the human skeleton. It gives a voice to the dead, and not even the recently dead, the thousands and thousands of years old dead can still tell their story now. So, episodes for this podcast are going to be released on Fridays. And for more information about upcoming episodes, you can check out our Instagram at That Anthro Podcast. But mostly, I'd just like to say thank you for visiting the podcast. This is my brainchild, and I'm really proud of it. I think we're going to have a wonderful podcast with some really exceptional guests that are doing some really interesting work, from professors to graduate students to undergrads. I'm hoping to even have some alumni on here. I think it's going to be a really interesting podcast. So I hope you stick around and see you next time.